Chapter 2.1 I Believe in. I have chosen to diet you, brother Chulachaki, guardian of the forest. Even before encountering you, I already felt your empowered knowledge, strength, and protection. I acknowledge your vast connection with the spirits of the rainforest, your unique ability to move between dimensions, and I would be honored to get to know the real you, to connect with you in a deeper way. It is my desire to establish a connection based on love, light, and gratitude, in order to bring higher awareness out into this world. I ask you to help me become a shining example for those around me, even if they do not see me, where I am an active part in manifesting the living in heaven on earth one more time. Help me become unshakably strong in my inner peace. Help me reach the most fulfilling states of relationships, see my own beauty as well as others, and embody self-love. The little flower hanging down with her closed head starts to move. She raises her soon-to-be crown up to the night sky and starts opening her blossom head. White light finds its way out through her blossom leaves. Her fragile stem seems to be firmly holding the precious jewel with so much energy flowing through it. She is a single source of light in the universe surrounding her. A lotus flower is dwelling within the bloom where the light streaming from endlessly far away reaches her. When I look closer, I see tiny dots moving in that light. Looking even closer, these are being-like. They move around until they reach the central pillar, which escorts them up in splits of a moment after reaching it. And when I look around the flower bloom to where complete darkness is, I can also see tiny beings squeezing themselves next to one another, moving randomly, but only in the closest vicinity of where they already are in the mass of darkness. All of them can see the blinding light and the beauty of the harmonious shapes in it. Some of them even manage to come close to it, as the attraction is absolutely irresistible. So unknown, but so mesmerizing. And those who leave behind their fears of the unknown and put their courage in the front row are those who make the last step towards and into the light. After that, they become light themselves, just like the ones already inside the Blossom Palace. One jump through the invisible wall and the unconscious become conscious. Each tiny part needs to be willing to forget in order to remember. Each of them needs to make their own jump in faith and liberation. Faith is needed in order to find the courage to believe it can only be better, and death, as an extinguishment, does not have an existence. Transformation is the only valid law defying dying. Forgetting where we were seconds ago and focusing on now enables that transformational jump. I am curious. If the light pillar comes down from endlessly far away above the blossom, where does it go further? I turn the beautiful flower upside down to see the green land surrounding her stem. Big grasshopper eyes are looking at me from the darkness. A green insect head becomes visible until the whole body, which is now of a dragonfly, appears. The light that is now reaching the grassy surface from below touches the insect and fills it inside out with light. The light of life is invisibly shining out of the dragonfly. That insect rises up and flies far away into another world. The dragonfly lands on a man's stretched finger. It came to remind him of something. Its presence and the light it is charged with is the only evidence we have. The man looks at the insect closely and in astonishment. Such a friendly creature radiating joy for life. Only if he would see what the dragonfly really came here to show him. The whole nature is filled with this greatness, the light that exists inside each of our hearts in the beauty of a precious white flower. Every blade of grass is there to remind us of what we already are. The force of life burns inside, and for those who have forgotten to look inside, nature is there to reflect it and remind us of it, so that each part of me is eventually ready to make that jump into my own light and beyond. The greens of all shades and tones are like nectar feeding my soul. To be surrounded by rich greens of nature is a therapy and the most basic meal for me. I soak it in through my eyes. My eyes lead it through a gateway to my soul, not for those who look into my eyes, but for me. Through them I touch the world. Green is a color of love to me. Its healing qualities are commonly associated with the heart area. Green gemstones like jade and green sapphire are thought to influence compassion according to ancient beliefs. Green is also the color that radiated as a full light spectrum from the sun and traveling through Earth's atmosphere loses the least of its intensity and is bent least by the particles in the atmosphere. Therefore, as the earth science claims, the plants have adapted to produce green chlorophyll, and that's why they appear in green. The green color light carries the most untouched information from the sun. Green is my favorite color. It always has been, but only the living green, radiated by the loving but so powerful nature of the earth. No fabric or dye can produce that radiance a living organism does. Only the children of the planet Earth, feeding themselves off of our sun's rays, reflect that frequency in such vividness and depth. The greens of nature are like children born out of the fire of the Father Sun and the living waters of the Mother Earth. On Earth, fire evaporates water and water extinguishes fire. But in the realms of the spirit, elements not only transform one another, but also give birth to new phenomena. All that exists on a material plane is a product of the elements meeting and melting with one another. Fire, water, air, earth, and the spirit behind it all, blowing ether's breath. Green Tara, a deity in the Buddhist teachings, is recognized for her capacity to heal through love. This beautiful quality, one among many of her merits, makes it again a noticeable concurrence for the green color to be seen as a representative of the healing itself. But when I think about what healing is, knowing strikes me with its simplicity. Health is a natural state of balance, abundant in love, freely flowing in harmony. Is that not what nature is? A self-regulating, always adjusting, adapting, evolving, learning, living organism? Nature's ability to heal and bring us humans to a healthy state of mind and body is no wonder then. Especially when knowing that my body is nothing else but a cell in Earth's ecosystem. A brain cell, I believe. It's the heart of the Earth that constantly calls us to fulfill our duties in her body of consciousness and be that unique part of her, reflecting the universe and its wonders. She's calling us. Calling not to turn against ourselves, but rather to find a harmonious and compassionate core within us. Western people don't usually feel being a part of this great organism. In order to reach that blending, we might need to look a little further. People think they have power over nature, by cutting out forests and polluting oceans, by showing the level of disconnection through the extent of destruction. We might as well think of having more power, dominating the natural forces. Human reasoning has a tendency to associate all with itself and draw conclusions out of what's known and similar to itself. Like thinking of having power over nature just because in the last 100 years or so, the industry and science have made faster progress. Human lifespan is limited to 100 years plus with actual living conditions, and we tend to judge the nature and the existence of all as seen through a lens of those 100 years as a reference point. A few hundred at most. because we can't comprehend what does not lie in our time frame and therefore feel. Nature doesn't bother to give a single thought about 100 years' time. It's a snap of fingers in the span of her life. Nature has existed for millions of years only on Earth. But is nature to be found only on Earth? To say that nature is limited by the Earth would be the same as to draw lines on a map and divide continuous land into countries. Even if there are boundaries where natural phenomena meet, there is still a continuum of the natural field these phenomena dwell in. Does Mars have no nature? It doesn't have plants on its surface, but are the soil and the rocks not natural too? Jupiter's made out of gas and it has moons like Earth. Is it not nature? Nature has different faces and facets like we individuals do, but it's all the same. Earth nature, Mars nature, and the nature of the cosmos we are situated in. Natural laws that rule matter, space, and time. Where are the limits then? Other laws rule the realms of subtle dimensions. But those realms exist in one another, joining one another in one great conscious self. We make the boundaries, but there are none at all. And so, where does it lead us all? To the conclusion that the human mind is capable of believing whatever suits it, and that the existence of nature is so vast and timeless that in the mere presence of this realization, my ego subsides and commits to treating the great realms of spirit that is all that exists as myself. Only then I can see that treating others with respect equals treating myself respectfully. Only then do I realize that I am a part of the greatness this universe is. Only then can I feel like I am a part of something bigger than my comprehension allows me to see. And only then would I commit to descend again into my egoistic self and see the world as it truly is, even with the danger of forgetting how to see the truth that exists everywhere around me. I am bound to remember it anyway. Memories fade away, especially hurting ones, when the history changed. No wound, no pain. Emotions hold in the information. No emotion, no memory is then the same. I still remember, just now it doesn't hurt. What's underneath that, what has happened, what was felt, is being saved in the cosmic library of all that was ever seen, felt, and thought. My heart carries that warm, calming space in me, the gate to the library's door. Through it I reach my history. Through it I heal the feelings lying on my way to ever more access, to unlimited states, to living the impossible. Who am I? I continuously ask myself. Is there still more I can be, I can embody? Or am I bound by my shyness and lack of self-confidence to only explore places that feel comfortable to me? Who am I? A small fir tree on a mountain slope, surrounded by the daylight-reaching giants of my species, to ask for more, to feel loved, to live my purpose, to accept the inclusion of a shadow in the world of light. That's my value? Will it be seen? All those questions are not unique to only me, but rather to the human race as a process of self-discovery of Gaia. I am your body, a cell in your living body temple, tending to forget being a part of something ever new, not cut aside from other perspectives, nor bigger existence.